Hey guys, Belle here. With patch 8.1, which is Tides of Vengeance of course, releasing content at different times between 8.1, 8.1.5, 8.1.5.7.2, I wanted to take a moment and talk about what's actually coming out on patch day and the weeks to follow. The first thing that I do want to talk about is the account-wide flight pass. This is such a huge deal, especially since there's so much new content that we're going to be exploring, including later on in the beginning part of next year, the new zone. For me, this is number one on the list of things to be excited about, and that is unlocking the account-wide flight pass for Kultiris and Zandalar for your alts. You will be able to purchase a scouting map at the 7th Legion and Honor-bound faction vendors for 100 gold. Send these nice little books to your alts to unlock the available flight pass and outposts for the opposing faction maps. A small little side note here, as a reminder, as of 7.2.5, you can actually purchase the Eastern Kingdom and Kalimdor flight path books, which are actually toys for alts at your faction's heirloom vendor for 10k gold each. Ouch, 10k gold each. Anyway, when you buy for one faction on an alt, the toy will convert for the opposite faction automatically. Now for Alliance, there's 2 books that you can purchase as far as toys are concerned, and for Horde, there are 2 books that you can purchase as far as toys are concerned there as well. Second on the list here is the account-wide reputation credit that you do get for achievements such as the 100 Exalted Rep achievement. This is going to be account-wide, so all your progression, if you go from alt to alt or if you've swapped mains throughout time, it's good for someone like me because I have different alts that I do focus different types of rep depending on my gameplay. All the items that are unlocked behind reputation requirements will only have the rep requirements at the time you purchase them, which of course means all of your alts can use them. This does also mean that tabards that you've acquired because of reputation, you can share those across account as well. Another thing in regards to reputation, Paragon reputation rewards are coming in 8.1. Currently, it seems there's only pets as Paragon rewards. I'm kind of hoping they're going to change that in a future patch. Honestly, just pets are not enough for me to kind of put in work here. I know there's a lot of collectors out there, and I think that's fantastic. Definitely go and complete all the things. I do think they need a little bit better variety, but there's some random toys mixed in here, but it's just toys and pets. For Proudmoore, you get a really cool Proudmoore music box toy. You get an option for that to drop. And there's also an Albatross hatchling. For the Voldunai, you get the Gold Tusk in Breakfast Buffet toy. I tried to see what this thing looked like. I tried really hard. I even tried to pull the item from Model Viewer. No dice. But I'm thinking this is going to be pretty useful for the RP community. And then, of course, for the Tortolans, you have the Bowl of Glowing Pufferfish toy. Zandalari gets the War Beast Crawl Dinner Bell toy. Order of Embers gets the Cobalt Raven Battle Pet. The Talanji get the Crimson Bat Pup Battle Pet. And for Storm's Wake, Violet Abyssal Eel Battle Pet. This thing just looked really creepy when I was checking out its model. Another fan favorite coming in 8.1 is the Champions of Azeroth reputation changes. Well, when I say reputation changes, I say this means necklace changes. This is probably my second best, mostest, favoritist, something change in BFA right now if you happen to be an altar. If you're revered with champions on one tune, you'll be able to get the quest from Magni to upgrade the eye level of your Heart of Azeroth necklace on all of your alts. It happens automatically the second I logged into PTR on my monk. She started it like eye level 315, and within 1 minute, she was up to 371. Blizzard, I just want you to know I appreciate you. Next is the introduction of Incursions. I mean, it's not new because we already have these in several iterations throughout the last 2 expansions. Incursions are basically Legion Assaults, just kind of repackaged. And you do get rewards for completing the Incursions. It's a really good way to level up alts. The rewards for completing 4 Incursions are random 370 weapons and Azerite armor for your class. These are from the same pool as Warfronts, so it's additional ways to get gear, especially if you're not interested in doing Warfronts. Definitely use these for alts though, because that is a big, important part of what Incursions bring value-wise to the expansion, outside of Horde and Alliance getting to kill each other. Mission report, December 16th, 1991. Okay, I'm kidding. Seriously, whoever gets that reference though, you guys get major kudos and tacos from me. But seriously, mission report. Outpost upgrades for a few spots on Kultiris and Zandalar that kind of give each faction a little something. I'm not talking about if you're Alliance and you have Horde outposts, you're upgrading those. I'm talking about if you're Alliance, you get Alliance outposts, as does Zandalar for Horde side. You pick these up from your faction vendor. The process is the exact same when you were doing the opposite faction outposts with the scouting map, the mission report. You go and do the thing, you upgrade, you get stuff. Well, there are 3 for Horde and there are 3 for Alliance. I didn't do anything Horde side just because I play Alliance and it didn't make sense for me to do Horde, but I did check out the 3 that we get so far. They could be adding more, but for now, there's 3. The first one is the Castaway Point upgrade. This Castaway Point upgrade actually gives you a freaking cannon that shoots you all the way across Tiergard. Okay, I'm being dramatic. It wasn't all the way across the map, but it threw me a pretty good distance, landed in the water. I was highly amused, and I suppose that's all that matters. The second one here for Alliance is going to be Aram's Stand. Now, this one is actually, I thought it was kind of unique, and you get a buff. This nice gal here, she gives you a buff, and you just go and get it when you need it. This buff, anytime you kill an enemy, your movement speed is increased by 50% for 20 seconds. I don't know if it's the buff that I would choose, but I mean, a free buff is a free buff. The third one is Brennadam's Outpost upgrade, which this offers a harvester to use. As you see, I don't know what the intention was here because there isn't any information, not even in data mining could anybody find what the purpose of these things are. It just runs and runs. There's no attacks, at least there wasn't any on my bar. It seemed as though mine was broken. Of course I would get the broken one in PTR. I had a good time running around on the guy anyway. Don't know what his usefulness is as of yet. Could just be they're still working out some kinks, not 100% sure. I think this was pretty cool to add these little things into the map, and I'm curious to see what they plan on expanding there. Of course, we have the new Island Expedition maps. There's 2 new ones. We heard about these previously, and I'm pretty sure it was the BlizzCon announcement for BFA that these 2 specific islands were mentioned, which is going to be Havenswood and Jorundal. In addition to the new maps, there is a new doubloon vendor. This vendor has pets, mounts, and other wares to spend your hard-earned doubloons on. The 2 mounts are a whopping 1,000k doubloons each, so you guys better get started saving your pennies. There's a saltwater seahorse and the siltwing albatross. Neither one of those seem like they're interesting to me, though the seahorse is kind of cool, I will admit. One particular item that I want to make sure I mention is the Lyrics Song of the Sea. This item upgrades your Flight Master whistle so that it can be used to take you back to your boat while you're in an island expedition. That's a pretty cool addition. We heard that this was coming, but that will be live with 8.1 on the 11th. You can find these doubloon vendors right across from where you queue up for island expeditions in your Horde and Alliance hub. Side note, and a small, maybe teeny tiny rant from me. They did make changes for 8.1 in regards to the drops in island expeditions. I'm still struggling to kind of understand the reason for this change. I didn't have a problem with the way that it worked, but apparently a large portion of people did. But personally, I don't like the fact that they decided to remove mob targeting for specific items that drop in the island expeditions. One of my favorite things to do is we go in there, we bang out these events as quick as we can to get in, get out, and we target mobs so I know I have a chance of getting the piece or set of pieces, whatever, that I want to drop. So whatever side of the world complained that this was a bad idea, we have now, instead of fixing the problem, we've made it where any content you do in this island expeditions or any of them, you don't have to target specific mobs. You'll be able to just get them randomly, we hope. So it kind of feels to me like they're dumbing things down a little bit. I don't really like that. I appreciated the strategic opportunity, especially being able to leverage the events to target what you wanted. And to me, that felt like it made island expeditions more impactful. I'm not going to say I know more than anybody else does, but I kind of want to know what you guys think about this. Is everybody happy about it? It seemed like a large portion of the community was really excited for this change in island expeditions. But me personally, I just think I think it was a bad idea, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be something I plan on doing in the future, because there's no purpose for me. If I can't target, you know, you let me target it, and now I can't. So I kind of want to know what you guys think. Make sure you guys comment below and let me know your take on the island expedition changes. Of course, the new Warfront, the Battle for Darkshore, will be live. This will start with Horde being in control. I mean, naturally, they burned down our trees, so I would say they would be in control. We will fight to take it back. This is definitely an important addition to the story, and I'm really excited and hyped to go through this. In addition to all the other stuff that's coming, there's going to be a new Warfront vendor. It's going to bring new currency to purchase mounts, toys, pets, account-bound experience potions, and the new tank heirlooms, and some other stuff that was added. Now, the Warfront vendor will be accepting what's going to be called the 7th Legion Service Medal and the Honor-Bound Service Medal. Pretty similar to the commendations we got in Tol Barad, Arathi, that whole thing. You get them from completing the Warfronts. I don't know how much you get, because that information isn't available yet. You get them from completing world quests and Warfront quests. So far, we know you get 1 service medal per Darkshore world quest and 5 service medals per Darkshore normal quest. I don't know if that data is good data still, but that's the information that we have. Now, the vendors can be found in Borealis for Alliance and in Dazar Alar for Horde. They're located directly, well, for Alliance, they're behind the boat. I'm not really sure. I don't Horde, so I don't really know where they're at from a Horde side. Also coming along with Darkshore stuff is the Darkshore Overworld revamp. This, obviously, we were going to get a revamp here, and I'm pretty excited to be, if I'm being 100% honest. We've got the Tyrande questline that ends with a pretty sick Night Elf customization unlock. It's the Night Warrior. It's going to give you a dark eye glow, different skin tone, basically showing the power of the moon. Now, I didn't want to do too many spoilers here, so I'm not going to go into kind of what takes place here. I'm going to let you guys just experience that for yourselves. But with the revamp, this does come complete with rares, max level missions. There's a ton of rewards to be had, from mounts to armor to all kinds of things. So definitely a lot of content to go through here. I'm assuming the Darkshore zone here, with the way that they've redone the world, is going to be similar to like Tanan Jungle and other max level zones that we've seen throughout expansions. Of course, we are going to be continuing deeper into the war campaign throughout the next couple of months of content. Blizzard likes to save us from ourselves, guys, so before everybody starts crying about time gating, I gotta be really honest, I would do everything on patch day 1 if Blizzard didn't save me from myself. So the Warfront campaign continuation is going to be rolled out in waves. I did pull these dates from the calendar and PTR. They are subject to change. I don't know if they're 100% correct, but it was in PTR, it's in the calendar, and it was on the internet, so it must be true. Have a nice little chart here that I made with my very own hands. December 11th, we'll start with part 1. It's going to span through December and January, leading up till the end of January to get through part 5. I didn't see anything beyond part 5. Could just be because maybe we'll be getting into 8.1.5 territory, or maybe pre-8.1.5 territory. I don't really understand the way that they're splitting up 8.1, but that's okay. I don't really have to. We're also going to be getting the heritage armor for the Blood Elves and Dwarves, which I'm not a Blood Elf fan, but hey, armor's armor. They look pretty cool. You'll be able to get the quest lines to acquire these. They'll be available. Pretty neat, just because it's nice that we'll be able to have heritage armor for classes that aren't allied races. A huge change or addition, system revamp, whatever, everybody's excited for is the Azerite armor Mythic Plus vendor no drop changes that are happening. I don't really know any other way to word it except just that is what it is. Mythic Plus chests at the end of the run are no longer going to drop Azerite armor. Yep, I said it, no longer going to drop Azerite armor. Instead, you are going to get a currency to purchase the pieces you want from the vendor by completing Mythic Plus dungeons. You'll get them out of your chest in lieu of the Azerite armor. And you also can scrap and disenchant the new gear that drops from Mythic Pluses. If you don't need it, you no longer use it, whatever the case may be, and you'll get this currency. The currency is called the Titan Resendium. I had to practice that before this video. Don't judge me. I'm still not sure I'm even saying it right, but that's okay. You can spend this at our very familiar nomad buddy, Vashreen. He's going to be located where you pick up your bonus roll seals, along with the Transmogrifier and all those other worldly, ethereal guys. The gear price ranges from about 125 of these Titan Resendiums for an eye level 355 piece to about 1250 for an eye level 385 piece, which is going to be the relinquished Azerite pieces. These are, it's pretty similar to what we're used to, like with the Legion pieces. We had to give the Nether Shards and then of course the Argus gear. Interesting, you can also pay 3,250 of these new Titan currencies for a targeted 385 piece. 385 mythic equivalent targeted piece. Disclaimer, the prices that you see in the images here that I pulled when I was hanging out in PTR, I don't really know that those are accurate because the data I got from Wowhead is like 2 days ago data mined. I don't know if they lowered the price so that PTR testers could buy them. I'm not 100% sure, but I wouldn't trust the images. I would just wait. Seems like the 1250 for the 385 relinquished Azerite pieces may seem like it's supposed to be, or maybe they decided to lower it because they thought it was too much. Either way, prices are subject to change. With the new patch comes leveling changes, more leveling changes because we just can't get enough. First, let's talk about the new leveling potion that gives you 10% experience and 10% to all stats. That's the Drought of 10 lands, and the Drought of 10 lands that you get, it's going to cost 10 of the service medals from Warfront, so 10 of those. I appreciate the fact that Blizzard's going to force me into Warfronts, whether I want them or not. I guess it's a good thing I want them. Yep, you're going to have to put in work to be able to get those service medals if you want to have the leveling potion. However, you might not even need it. The experience needed per level has been reduced from 20 to 120. Now, the most noticeable change is going to come from 60 to 120 because they've got about a 40% reduction from all past expansions. This is going to be pretty cool. Definitely a good time to level alts. That combined with reputation changes, the flight path unlocking for your alts, and the Champion Azeroth necklace at max level upgrade. All of those things are a recipe for success when it comes to having multiple characters. Another thing that's been, I'm not going to say secret, but nobody really knows a whole lot about it. There's a new PvP brawl coming, Cooking Impossible. I'm so surprised that we haven't really heard a ton about this. Maybe they're just waiting until it gets closer. I don't really know. However, this is exactly what you think it is. It's a 10 flag capture style battle that takes place in Valley of the Four Winds. The PvP objective, complete Nomi's chili recipe. Why do I want to help Nomi cook? All he did was burn my food an entire expansion. But the PvP description that I could find, now keep in mind this is not in a data mined place. I tried to find it. I found it somewhere else. I don't know if it was removed from being data mined. I'm not sure. But the PvP description says, gather ingredients from the valley and bring them to Nomi. First 10 to gather ingredients wins. Dying or being stunned will cause you to drop the ingredients. Nomi, where have you been, bro? Apparently, he's been cooking up this battle. According to the PTR calendar, the first one hits December 18th. Don't quote me on that, but that's what the calendar says. And again, if it's on the internet, it must be true. Also, new world quests are being added. I think we assumed that was kind of, going to be a thing. We knew that was going to be out there somewhere. Some random items. There's map icons have been updated. There's boat notations on the map. Guys, I didn't even know there was a boat to Stormwind from Cool Terrace, from Borealis Harbor. I had no idea. You know why I didn't have an idea? Because there wasn't any map notations. Well, now there's all these boat little globes on the map. There's an icon for the scrapper on your mini map. The map actually looks pretty nice. There's some weird, strange treasure map that promises something could be good, could be scary. Don't really know a whole lot about it. I didn't have time to try to queue up for island expeditions. It's really hard to do in PTR, so we'll have to kind of see what that means, but it does come from collecting Azerite in island expeditions, but that's an icon on there for tracking of some sort as well. And of course, there are several new recipes for you to go and collect for your professions. There's new mats, reagents, and all kinds of stuff. However, I'm not going to talk about in this video because last time I tried to talk to you guys about professions, y'all had your pitchfork sharpened and was standing at my front door at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to go through that again, so I'm just going to mention it, give you guys this quick little clip, and go ahead and move on as fast as I possibly can. And finally, if you're feeling nostalgic for Legion content, you can solo queue for all the Legion LFR versions of the raid. You can do this by going to see Archmage Timir by Violet Hold in the Broken Isles version of Dalaran. Of course, the new raid will be out sometime in January. It's not going to be when this patch drops December 11th. We also are not getting the Kultaran humans or the Zandalari trolls until 8.1.5. So don't expect those. There is going to be a pet battle dungeon. I didn't really mention that because I figured it's not really important enough to take time in a video, but just so you know, it's happening. There are more things coming in the patch that I didn't mention here because I really wanted to just focus on what I thought mattered. I can't wait to go through the Darkshore questline because I avoided spoilers even doing a PTR video, but I am so excited about that. Now, my question to you guys, there's a lot of stuff coming. Say what you want, have your complaints. There's a lot of good things coming this patch. I want to know what you're most excited about. What are you looking forward to? What's your favorite thing about what's coming in the patch? Make sure you guys comment down below and let me know. For more information on 8.1, raids, walkthroughs, 8.1.5 and beyond, make sure you guys check out the 8.1 comprehensive overview that Wowhead's got over there. It's where I pulled a good portion of this information from, and it has probably a little bit more than what I mentioned here in this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, and also if you are new to Method, make sure you subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all the latest videos. Well guys, that's it for me, and as always, thanks so much for watching.